Is mutation purely psychological happening? Is there any chemistry involved in the happening? Is there a psychological change in the brain cells themselves? Is mutation purely a psychological happening? Is there any chemistry, in quotes, involved in the happening? Is there any psychological change in the brain cells themselves? That is the question I ask. Is mutation change? Mutation means complete change, not change of form, which is transforming. Transforming means changing forms. When you use the word mutation, it means complete change. That which has not been before. Right? And the question I ask also, is there chemistry involved in it? Is there change in the very brain cells themselves? Right? We are going to this rather complex, rather, if we're really interested, it's a great fun to go into this question. Fun in the sense, investigating, like a scientist. He spends days and days and days and years to find something. But we don't do that into ourselves. So, he's inquiring, is there a mutation in the very brain cells? Is that possible? And is mutation of a brain cell which is conditioned, brain cells, which carry the memory, the experience, the knowledge, can that be radically, fundamentally mutate? You understand the question? Am I making the question clear? Don't go to sleep, please. It's really great, exciting thing to find out. Not according to some scientist, but in oneself. Then you can go infinitely far, inwardly. You understand? But if you are trying to go very far outward, you can't go very far. Even the astrophysicists are examining the heavens. It is according to their chemistry, according to their conclusions. But if we begin to inquire into ourselves, that is to know ourselves, to have tremendous inquiry of knowing, to find what we are. Not according to some philosopher, some book, some psychologist, but actually what we are. Then, in the discovery of that, what we are, you can go on. That is infinity. You understand? Now the question is there a possibility, is it possible for the brain cells themselves to bring about a mutation? Not through compulsion, not through pressure, not through reward and punishment. You understand, these are all our motives. If there are such motives, then it's not possible. Then you are merely pursuing the old pattern. Is this clear? Right? I wonder. First of all, do we agree, see the point, not agree, see the point, that our brain cells carry the memories, the knowledge, the experience. Our brain is the instrument, is the storehouse of experience, from experience knowledge, from knowledge memory, and from memory the reaction is thought. Right? Do we see that first? Not up here verbally, but I mean, do we see the fact? That is, you have an experience of any kind, sexual, a car accident, any kind of experience becomes knowledge. The scientists, step by step for the last 200 years, from Galileo and so on, have gathered information, knowledge, step by step. And the future scientist learns from them, stored in the brain, which becomes his knowledge. Right? So, the brain cells contain all the past knowledge, all the remembrances, memories, and thought. Thought, please listen if you are interested, thought is a material process, because thought is born out of memory, out of knowledge, out of experience, which is physical, material. So thought is a material process. The speaker has discussed this with several scientists. They slightly hesitantly agree that thought is a material process. You understand? But they don't want to completely commit it themselves because it's rather too dangerous. It affects their livelihood, it affects their position, it affects their whole structure of living. But it is a fact, apart from scientists, apart from the speaker, this is a fact. Now the questioner asks, can those cells which have carried all the past, all the experience of humanity, all the experiences which have brought tremendous knowledge, stored in the brain cells, can there be mutation in those brain cells? Which I've understood the question. You answer it. You answer that question. May I most respectfully request you to answer that question. That is, I am going north. I've been going north for the last 1,000 years. That's my direction. And you come along and tell me, my dear chap, if you go along that way, there is nothing there. Turn east or south, then you might discover something. Right? So when I turn, I've already brought about a mutation. You understand? It's as simple as, I wonder if you understand this. I have been thinking all my life I'm an individual. You come along and show me the fact. And I say, but you're right. And I've checked, you follow? Moment I see there is a perception of truth, there is a mutation taking place. I want to see this. But if I stick to my going north, There can be no mutation. It's a repetition. But whereas if I listen to you, I say, look, you are no longer individual. You are the rest of mankind. You are mankind. And you show me the beauty of it, the love, the compassion that was born out of this realization. Then I've left the north. Then there is a mutation taking place. I wonder if you see this. It's not an action of will. Right? It's not an action of desire, but it's an action which comes when you perceive that which is true. Right, sir? I wonder if you see all this.
What is that perceives?
Huh?
What is that perceives the truth?
Huh?
What is that which perceives the truth?
What is it that perceives? Who is the perceiver?
The good old question. Who is the perceiver? You want to trap me? I see a lot of grains along. Right. When you look at that tree, who is the perceiver? Look at that tree. Look at it carefully, if you don't mind. Don't look at me. I'm asking you to look at the tree. And how do you look at that tree? You have used the word tree, which you have given to all the things that grow out of the earth. So the word has become more important than the tree. Right? If there is no word, the tree, there is no word and you look, what happens? You understand my question? I have looked at that thing, calling it a tree for the last 50 years. And you come and say, don't look at it with the word tree. And I say, I can't look at it that way. Because I'm so used to the word tree, and when I look, I say it's a tree. Right? And you're asking me, don't do that. Look at it. Look at it without the word. Right? Look at your wife without the word. Or your husband, very good, or your right? So, our brain is a network of words. Right? I'm a Hindu. I'm a communist. No, not here. You're all too respectful. I'm a communist. I'm a socialist. I'm a German. I'm Catholic. Words. Now, who is the observer who is watching all this? That's the question you asked just now. What is the observer? Who is the observer? Ask me a question. Who is the observer? You say I. Or there is an observer. The I, the witness, the one who is observing. Who is the observer? Go on, sir. Who is the observer? Your past knowledge. Right? Right? Is that so? Your past memories, your past remembrances, So the observer is the past. It's a fact. You're not agreeing with me. Look at the fact. Right? The past is the observer looking at the present. Right? So there is a division between the past and the present. Right? Look at it logically first, and then you might see the reality of it actually. The observer is always the past. Right? And that which he observes, I'm going to take an example presently, and you will see. That which he observes is still the past. Right? Because he is looking at it from the past. Therefore, it's still the past. I wonder if you see it. God's sake, come on, sir. Right? Now let's move from there. That's a very good idea. The enormous thing that you are looking always with the past. So the present is the past. And the present contains the past, the present, and the future. I won't go into that now. It's too complex. Let's leave that for the moment. I'm angry. Is anger different from me? I'm jealous. Is that jealousy, that reaction, which is called jealousy, is that different from me? Go on, answer it. Or is it part of me? Right? Anger is part of me. Jealousy is part of me. The sexual urge is part of me. Ambition is part of me. Right? Right, sir? So, I am all that. Right? So the observer is all that. No? So there is no difference between the observer and the observed. Yes, sir, intellectually, be bright enough, move. You understand my question? I observe that tree. Fortunately, I'm not the tree. Unless I'm psychopathically. I think I am the tree. There are lots of people who think that. And my anger is me. I separate myself from anger, and then I say I have been angry. Right? There is a separation taking place immediately. I have been angry. But anger is me. So the observer is the observed. Right? Isn't it simple, this? Logically it's very simple. Right? But when we begin to apply, then the rub begins. Because if anger is me, what can I do about it? I can't do anything. But I have been accustomed to do something about it. You understand? Therefore I have a conflict. Whereas if anger is me, which is I and anger are the same, therefore there is no duality, no separation, then there is no conflict. Conflict exists only when there is separation. Right? Don't look so puzzled, sir. Conflict exists between you and another, between you and the Hindu and Muslim, because you are separate. Conditioned as a Hindu, conditioned as a Muslim, right? The Jew and the Arab. So wherever there is a division, there must be conflict. That's a law, right? So, the experiencer is the experience. Right? The thinker is the thought. The thinker is not separate from his thought. Are you following? This, naturally, this is something new you won't accept, but look at it, please, kindly find out. Not because the speaker says so. Whatever the speaker says, doubt, question, tear it to pieces. But find out. Oh, don't say, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. Or he's talking Advaita, Vedanta, or some other bilge. But find out. That means to inquire whether conflict can end. We live in conflict. Can that conflict end? And that can end only when there is no division, no me and you. You understand this? I know this is extremely difficult for people to do this because they are so caught up in their own self-centered activity. We said there is a radical change, mutation, when the chain of conditioning is broken. And that chain is broken not by volition, but by observing it very attentively, not through analysis, because the analyzer is the analyzer. Right? So, there is a fundamental mutation. There is a mutation when you see the fact and pursue the fact step by step, giving attention, giving care. So if you love something, you care for it. If I love to find out, if my wife is faithful, I find out. But if I love my wife, I wouldn't care. I know you don't say no. So, a mutation can take place. So completely that you're a different brain. Have you ever inquired into the degeneration of the brain? Have you ever thought about it, asked why the brain deteriorates? Are your brains deteriorating? Don't look at me, please. Are your brains deteriorating? What are the factors of deterioration? Conflict. Right? The brain is an extraordinary instrument. Look at what it has done technologically for benefit and for the destruction of human beings. Tremendous advance. So the brain has an extraordinary capacity, infinite capacity. But we have taken one direction. But we are not taking another direction, which is inward. You understand? So, when one understands conflict, repetition, pursuing the same old tradition, like a gramophone, repeat, 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 repeat. The gramophone plate deteriorates. They have invented a new plate, which never goes wrong, worn out. Through laser, this hasn't gone wrong. It's too expensive. So our brain has become a gramophone record that keeps on repeating, repeating, repeating. Even the most intellectual, all the intellectual people that are here, all the theorists, all the philosophers repeat. They have found a cliche, they have found a system, and go on. And that's one of the factors of the brain degenerating. It's like my saying, there must be justice in the world. Right? Justice. I keep on repeating, there must be justice in the world. And I find if I'm a politician, find out, pass laws that will bring justice. I never question if there's justice at all. You understand what I'm saying? Is there justice in the world?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
Of course not. You are tall and short. You are bright and not. You are well born, of a rich family and not. You are bright and not. You have got the world before you, and I live in a small little village, uneducated, poor. Where is their justice? You have all security, and I haven't got any. 1 meal a day. Come on, sir, look at it. Very just. Huh?
God could have done the justice, sir.
Huh?
God could have done the justice, sir.
What?
God.
No. God. God is created by thought. Whether you like it or not, that's a fact. If you have no fear, there's no God. You won't go to temples if you have no fear. I won't go into that question now. Sir, love has no time. Right? But we don't love anything. We don't love your wife, do you? Do you love anybody? In the sense, not attachment, not you use me, I use you. Love has no jealousy. Do you love anybody that way? Your children? your wives. You don't even love your gods because you're so frightened of them. You go to this temple nearby, Tirupati is called. You understand, it's $1 million in 3 days. And it's God. Money. So, is love an ideal? Answer these questions and put. If you love your children, love them with your heart, not bloody minds. Would you have wars? Would you have this appalling poverty in this country? Love has nothing to do with self-centered activity.
Sir.
So, please let me finish. So, where there is love, there is no observer. Right, sir? Because love is not a past remembrance of sexual excitement or any other form of remembrances.